I don't hear it right now. Oop. Okay.
My jokes aren't that bad.
It'll happen during me. I mean, like when you're talking, it probably won't be able to be heard. That's. I like it. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just roll with it.
I wish I knew where it was.
I have no idea. Look, it's
probably
fine.
It's probably in this ceiling because whenever I poke one of these tiles, it stops. But it's like
it's so loud I can hear you. See, that's the thing. I don't know how it's going to come off like when we're, when this is actually put together. But it's fine. No, if we have a cricket in the background, I think that's perfect ambiance for Sleepy Hollow.
Oh my god.
No, fuck it. Let's just roll with it. Okay, you ready?
Fine time.
Hello, sleepy people. Hello, hollow people? That seems a bit rude. It's your boy Dre, and it is my sleepy boy Steve.
Normally I assign blame for these things, but it's been a while. It's just good to be here. Maybe this one's no one's fault, Andre.
I don't... Okay. We always typically watch crappy movies on this show. But, I don't know. I didn't think this was crappy. I'm sorry to blow the surprise up front, everybody. It was fine, okay? I don't think we need to assign blame this time, okay? Oh, by the way, I don't know if this is anyone at home is going to hear this. Steve has an errant cricket in his recording studio at the moment. So if that can be heard, I would love for the audience to hear this at home. And, we were trying to find it before recording, but I was like, fuck it. No, it's the Sleepy Hollow cricket now. He can be here with us.
And the worst part is that he didn't give to our Patreon to be here, so...
Well, we don't have a Patreon, so I feel like it's okay.
I guess. I just don't feel right having an audience for the live recording.
Enjoy the ambiance of the Sleepy Hollow cricket as we talk about, hey, that's the movie we're going to talk about. What a coincidence. It's Sleepy Hollow, the Tim Burton quote-unquote classic from 1999, starring Johnny Depp. Are you surprised? And Christina Ricci.
I think it's more accurate to just call it a Tim Burton movie. Not necessarily a classic.
Oh, I thought you meant I didn't have to mention Johnny Depp or something. I was like, well, I guess maybe I don't. Maybe that's just assumed.
I guess around this time is where he starts having his Rolodex is like, and we're going to call you, and we're going to call you, and we're...
yeah, I mean, he does. I mean, shit, I always talk about Tarantino having his favorite people or something. I feel like Tim Burton is just not. Well, I don't know, man. If Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan keep racking it up, I feel like those two over time are going to be yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't complain about that.
No, I definitely wouldn't complain about that at all. Okay, Sleepy Hollow. Steve, why are we watching Sleepy Hollow? I mean, it is October. It is spoopy season. And we tried to do at least one spoopy movie per year. I don't think we got to one last year. I think about it.
No, some spoopy games happened and you got to cover those.
Okay, yeah, that's right. We did Silent Hill 2 remake and stuff.
So spoopy movies went out the door.
Yeah.
But we're back.
We're back, everybody. Yeah, we've been talking about this one for a fucking few years, I think, honestly. So anyway, we watched this because it's we realized Sleepy Hollow is just not really mentioned. I mean, it came out and I remember it and it seemed fairly successful, but over time, this is not something that's talked about, especially in the Tim Burton canon. You'll hear more people talk about, well, of course, more people talk about stuff like Sweeney Todd or something because it's a cult hit. And then shit, you even hear people talk about more about his Willy Wonka than you do Sleepy Hollow. I find that kind of strange. So that's why I wanted to watch this movie with you. Just because, not just because it's spoopy, just because, like, why do people forget about this one?
Well, I need to make one small confession out front. Usually for these projects, either none of us saw the movie, or both of us did in the case of Willow. Andre, I saw about maybe 5 minutes of this when TBS or somebody had this while flipping through channels once. And for that, I am sorry.
Okay, you have sinned in front of the Lord, and He has forgiven you. Number two, I'm surprised they would show that. I mean, this movie is very rated R. I mean, it must have been like, how do you show? I mean, I guess you can cut out some stuff, but
oh, I'm just saying one of those weird, not weird channels, but I'm just saying someone.
I'm just saying though, like, I wonder what they do on TV to, like. I mean, you can't. There's a lot of decapitations and examination of corpses and wounds and stuff. I mean, you can't exactly.
It's funny you bring up decapitations and wounds and corpses and things, because that's kind of how this all started, because Kevin Yeager, he's more known for makeup design. Like he got a taste of directing in Tales from the Crypt.
Ooh, I used to did you watch that a lot? I used to watch a lot of Tales from the Crypt.
I didn't have that, but I didn't have the HBO, but my uncle had a few cassette tapes, and I did see those a few times.
They would show them in syndication sometimes, and they were bad because they just cut out all the good stuff, really. So
yeah, I imagine that would be the case.
Yeah, they did. There was a syndicated version, but they would show it late at night, so you can get away with some stuff. But
right.
Anyway.
But anyway, Yeager, he got promoted from makeup guy to director, and he got a taste for it. He wanted more.
Okay.
So he figured he'd just go for it in 1993. He'd have his agent introduce him to Andrew Kevin Walker. He's a writer. They'd get a draft going that would turn Ichabod Crane from quirky schoolteacher to an eccentric detective. This will never be done again, except all the other times we would do this again.
I love when we take, like, old ass legends or books like this, and we just we do whatever the fuck we want with Dracula. You know what I mean? We don't care. We'll mold that into whatever we want it to be. I feel like we do that with this too.
Yeah, I mean, but we'll get into how well they actually do that in this go around. But it's a long way going, because then in 1996, so some time passes following the production of Hellraiser Bloodline.
Oh, God.
They would make their pitch to Paramount as a low-budget special effects showcase with a spectacular murder every 5 minutes or so.
This is a very expensive movie.
a pretentious slasher, claimed Walker.
Okay.
But Paramount's like, I don't know, you guys, a period piece, we'll just put this over here. Mm-hmm. And then they got Tim Burton to direct it instead. And honestly, stunt directing might have saved this thing. No, really, it might have saved this thing, because the budget was cited at $70 to $100 million, and it took in $201 million at the box office.
I feel like that's a success.
That's just about profiting with the movie math.
And then you factor in, VHS and DVD at the time and stuff. I mean, I feel like that's a profit.
Yeah. And I'm sure Burton being on board got all those other names in. So you'd think this would be the hot topic bay, right? You go in and you'd see this next to everything else.
Yeah, right? Like, I mean, like, it's we've talked about on the show how goth the 90s were in a particular way, especially the early 90s. And obviously Tim Burton has a lot to do with that. But by 1999, it felt a little, I don't want to say passé, but think about like the mid 90s. Remember you had stuff like The Craft. Remember The Craft?
I do now.
Yeah, like remember we still had shit like that, right? So we were on it. I think it was really like horror movies kind of took a nap in the 90s until Scream. I mean, Scream was out by now.
I think we were seeing some kind of downturn anyway. You know why? Because I was looking up any kind of merchandise tie-in for this sort of thing at the time. And, other than, there really wasn't much. You look back at Dracula and there was everything, the video games, the posters, and the pinball tables.
Oh,
This
yeah.
wasn't Sleepy Hollow wasn't getting shit.
Bram Stoker's Dracula had a massive budget. I don't know, though. 70 to 100 million, that's much more than I thought this would have been. But Tim Burton movies are typically, I guess, not particularly cheap. But
no, but like you said, we were in this in-between period in 1999.
yeah, what did you think this was going to be going in? Like, what were your expectations? I was hoping, as I'm usually hoping when we watch one of these movies, I was hoping to find a hidden gem. Even though it was a successful movie at the time, it feels kind of hidden. Maybe forgotten gem is a better term, right? Like, I was just hoping to find something that's like, oh yeah, people don't talk about this one very much, and they should. But I feel like that's not what we got, even though it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what I was really expecting. I mentioned earlier that I didn't see this when it came out. Being rated R meant this was still a sometimes movie occasion for me at that time. And my dad was absolutely not interested in it. Oh, Tim Burton. Ugh.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, my dad is not about Tim Burton.
All right.
Like he made an exception for Batman Returns, but
Batman Returns is aesthetically one of my favorite movies of all time, if not maybe my favorite. But anyway, that's another show.
It is, but in general, I get a bit, I don't know, you guys, when I see trailers for things or learn about things where you just feel the need to draw attention to how you made sweeping creative changes to the story instead of why it's good.
Mm-hmm.
But Steve, we already established in the Frankenstein episode that straight adaptations mostly blow. Yeah, but Legend of Sleepy Hollow is a short story hovering around 80 pages versus the big-ass books that we've had source material for before. And Sleepy Hollow is also a ghost story versus, the allegories for stronger topics that we've had room to, explore before.
Yeah. Also, like, the cricket's going off right now, by the way. Damn. Do you agree, Cricket? Now he shuts the fuck up. Okay, I should stop trying to play to the cricket. He can hear me. Anyway, I agree with you just because it's like Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Francis Ford Coppola movie we covered a few years ago now, along with Dracula 79. I think that movie is like the straightest adaptation of the book we ever had. And because of that, it's messy as fuck, but it also works. Right? That movie works in a way where Sleepy Hollow doesn't come together. Maybe because it's just the visuals of it. It's just so strong visually. And Gary Oldman is just incredible. And Van Helsing is incredible. Like, I don't know.
I mean, all that is, but the other thing is we're changing a literal ghost story, something we're all in the mood for in October, to a slightly spoopy police procedural drama, kinda. And
yeah, but I think maybe he felt that, like, just playing it straight wasn't exciting enough. And I would tend to agree with that. I feel like if they had played this straight, this wouldn't have been as good. I don't know how you make that exciting, something that's so well worn.
I don't know either, but I don't think some of this was it either.
No, I agree. So let's get into it. So I don't know. You start. Tell us what happens at the beginning here.
So we open to the blood-sealed, yes, blood-sealed, we fucking get it, Tim Burton's directing, will of Peter Van Garrett, played here by Martin Landau. We just happened to get him here. He's a supporting actor from films like North by Northwest and The Greatest Story Ever Told. Hey, look at this fucking money we got.
Well, Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci is already at that time money,
Yeah, I know, but we're just going to throw money on this character who we're going to seal a will for, throw him in a carriage, and then he's going to get killed by the Headless Horseman in a flash that denies us the connecting blow. We don't even get to see it.
Yeah, but they put two little splashes of blood on the jack-o'-lantern head, right? That was exciting. Right?
Oh man,
it looked like someone literally squirted the fake blood out of the squeeze bottle and just went, like on the on the thing.
like out of a little pouch of Capri Sun.
Yeah. That's how I always imagine. Well, they were using it in the previous shot, right? Dripping the blood down onto the onto the thing, right? So it was around. Just use it. Yes, I'm assuming every single shot in a movie is filmed sequentially. Okay, that's how movies are shot.
Man, it would really suck if that was the case, because then they go all the way to New York City where a different body shows up, where he just happens to be discovered by Constable Ichabod Crane.
Constable.
Who urges they investigate what happened via a primitive autopsy, versus his superior orders to just burn the body.
I like how... I just love that the premise of the movie is like Ichabod Crane is going to do this newfangled concept called detective work and logic. and that is how I'm going to solve this.
See, I kind of get that at first, but if the point of this adaptation was to reverse the roles, making Crane smarter than everybody and have everyone else he meets be superstitious as fuck, I don't know. I feel like something needed to give. Like, I feel like everyone has their head up their ass.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they needed to be funny. I'm not looking for the jokes, but I mean, I don't know. Some people needed to be people and not. He's standing there at this hearing for conduct, and he's like, guys, I don't think it's right that it's almost 1800 and we're still using these medieval torture devices to conduct investigations and rehabilitate criminals. And then the I guess we'll call him the chief of police, even though that's not what that is. But
right.
He's like, I'm sick of your shit, Crane. You're going to Sleepy Hollow to do your science. Get the hell out of here.
Well, as a Long Islander, always tell me, sending someone upstate is a form of torture.
You know what, Andrew? This is a good time to bring up that there's a lot of stories out there that, they make up a place that, just sounds good on paper and hope you don't look it up. But Sleepy Hollow is a real place, and it's actually nice.
Okay. I mean, you can tell me that, but I don't know how much I can believe you.
I mean, I could go to Sleepy Hollow in about, 2.5 hours car drive. It depends on traffic.
Is it, so it's not spoopy?
It's not so spoopy anymore. They have some of the old houses lying around and things, but...
I was going to say, it's got to be a tourist trap, right? People want to go there to see spoopy stuff, for sure.
It gets real popular real soon because of all that. It's like Salem in that regard.
Yeah. Did I tell you when I was a kid? I think we discussed this when we were playing Murdered Soul Suspect. Remember that fucking game?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I thought the Salem was Salem, Washington.
Yes, you did tell me that.
Because I'm from California. I don't know anybody. That's the Salem I know.
Yeah, I get that.
I didn't know there was another Salem. I had no idea. So that's what I thought.
Anyway, because we like to talk about this, I gotta ruin this for everybody. I would have loved to come on here and tell you, yep, they filmed on location. Why wouldn't you film the Sleepy Hollow movie in Sleepy Hollow? Andre, they did not film the Sleepy Hollow movie in Sleepy Hollow.
Where did they film it then? I actually don't know.
I mean, they tried. They got the Historic Hudson Valley Association to try scouting out however many locations in New York, but they didn't have that foreboding sense of atmosphere, or they weren't Dutch enough, since Sleepy Hollow is supposed to be Dutch.
Okay.
So all of that, they had to go to the UK.
Wow.
The Leavesden Film Studios, they just happened to get abandoned by the Phantom Menace around this time. And then they built a whole ass town. They built a whole ass Sleepy Hollow.
Wow.
Where Phantom Menace was.
So no wonder this was expensive. Because they had to build the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
But all the costumers and set designers and things were already over there, so there was that.
That's pretty serendipitous.
But the Tree of the Dead, that part from the trailer everyone remembers, they had to stick that in a whole other studio in Shepperton. But good news for us New York types, a few incidental scenes were done right here in a soundstage in Yonkers. Woo!
Imagine the sentence, I'm going to Yonkers to film Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, I hope you caught some races while you were there.
Oh, is that where all that shit is?
There is some the aqueducts near there. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not obviously familiar with the lay of the land. Anyway.
But now that we've established that Sleepy Hollow is a lie, we get a coach ride that's, overlaid by the credits, and he's just pricking himself in the hand a bunch while the Danny Elfman plays.
The Danny Elfman.
Just another name on his Rolodex.
Man, I mean, good God. Danny Elfman is going off in this movie. I mean, look, he's always great, right? But, like, Jesus. Right from that opening scene where they're like the red wax, right? And then like the horse carriage, the first kill, everything we just talked about. It's so dramatic. It's so sweeping. You could almost hear him grinning ear to ear as he was like composing this like opening credits shit. It's just great.
No, it really is. It's what you just said. Danny Elfman's playing here.
I mean, look, I don't want to have the whole conversation again, or I talk about how much better like the movie soundtracks were in the 80s and 90s. But again, it's just true. This is just one more example why that's true.
Well, you know what they do today? They'd reach into the licensed music bin for the opening credits and come up with something forgettable.
I know I'm asking the wrong person here, but what would they have played in 1999 if they wanted to go like...
Oh, in 1999.
Dragula? Rob Zombie's Dragula?
Maybe.
I don't know what else would have been. I mean, everything in their mother used Dragula, right? So like, they even stuck it into our jet grind radio, like it was the song.
That wouldn't have stopped executives from using it.
No, of course not. I mean, that's why it was so overused. So I was thinking of this too, as the credits are rolling. Opening credits, rather, not the end credits. As the opening credits are rolling, I was thinking to myself, oh God, is this going to be a slasher movie? Because I didn't know the bit that you said up front. What did it say? A pretentious slasher movie? I didn't really read that. So I was like, okay, what is this going to be? Because like the judge is telling him like, oh, these people upstate are being decapitated. You should go investigate. It's like, oh God. And I didn't want it to necessarily be that. Do you remember that Dracula movie a few years ago, Last Voyage of the Demeter?
Yes.
I went to see that. It was the okayest 5 out of 10 movie I've ever seen. It was just a slasher on a boat. It was Dracula on a boat. You don't even really get any cool Dracula stuff. It was just... here is the kill, maybe, kinda, and then it's over. It is so basic. It was barely a Dracula movie. I came out of that being like, yep, that was movie. That was certainly movie. And I didn't want Sleepy Hollow to be like that.
Voyage of the Demeter was movie, definitely movie. but at the same time, if we did get an over-the-top kill every 5 minutes like we were promised... that would have actually been on theme because, he's the headless horseman. But we didn't get that. Instead, we get this where, he's just riding into town when it's like a Western. And it's like, don't look at him. He's not from here. He has weird hair on top of his head from neatly coiffed from almost the year 2000.
Yep. Oh man, the hair always. It doesn't matter. We've watched movies from all sorts of decades at this point on this show, and the hair is always the big tell. I mean, they had some mid-90s ass hair in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein for sure.
Oh my God.
It was a lot. Especially who was that? Helena Bonham Carter? Who was in that fucking movie? Yeah. That was out of a music video. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, something that also might have been out of a music video. They end up at, there's more than one of them. Crane ends up at the mayor's manor where there's already a party underway. I guess he's trying to flirt with Katrina Van Tassel, Christina Ricci. Oh, okay. We'll just walk our way in and say words and introduce ourselves to the manor of the house. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, remember that guy was like, "We haven't heard your name yet, though," and then he's like, "I have not said it." He like turned
Ooh,
around.
real tough guy.
Well, yeah, because that made him want to punch him, which was broken up. But it was like, ooh, that was probably a sassy thing to say in 1799.
I mean, to be fair, I wanted to punch him too after that, but
I mean, it was kind of an asshole thing to say, but you know, but the whole thing was weird. He's just like, I am from New York to investigate these murders. Okay, yeah, stay right here with us and investigate. Okay, is that how stuff worked back then? Could you just stay at rich people's houses lickety split because you're from New York?
I'm going to just pretend to give this benefit of the doubt and say he came with documents from New York, notarized and whatever, and they don't have an inn to stick him in, which is dumb because it's Sleepy Hollow, and why wouldn't they like have a boarding house of some kind?
Right.
But for the sake of plot, yes, stay in our house so you can try and pick up Christina Ricci later.
It was weird. It just happened. I get it, convenience for a movie, but I also think like back in the day, it's just like, was that how things worked? It's so weird.
I mean, I just don't know. I don't know. I don't even know when this is. I guess it's Halloween. We don't even really know when this is. It's other than it's almost 1800.
Yeah,
okay.
We know it's 1799, and that's it. Why would you say it's Halloween though? Just because it's spoopy?
I don't know. It's a party. The ghosts are appearing all of a sudden. Well, Ghost is appearing all of a sudden.
But did they dress up for Halloween back then like we do now? Like,
not as kind of, but not really.
Yeah, because nobody seemed to be wearing like something that wasn't just regular clothes for the time.
I don't know. I thought I saw Apple Bucket, but you know, it could have also just been fall.
Apple Bucket is that far back too? Damn. I really don't know I'm learning that I don't know the origins of Halloween as much as I thought I did.
I don't know. No one really knows anything because Craze tried to talk through the facts of the case with Van Tassel and the Council of Elders, as I'm just going to call these people from now out, because we're introduced to all of them, but none of these people actually matter.
No.
And he's quickly figures out that, well, not figures out, he's just told quickly that everyone's heads are actually missing. They weren't just lopped off.
They were lopped off and taken.
Yes, the heads were stolen. And that everyone in town believes that a headless horseman, who is played by Christopher Walken, absolutely God. Chewing the scenery,
Jesus by the way. Christ. It's so good.
The ghost of a Hessian who fought during the American Revolution is just been haunting the region for the past 20 years is responsible. Now, you see him sitting there like shaking with the teacup. And
oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, man, I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
You couldn't tell whether it was like fear or excitement, right? Like he was just kind of shaken, right? Because you didn't really see his face.
But I got to...
I was just going to say, it feels like it was fear because he turns green every time he sees a corpse, right? So it's like, I don't know.
He's way out of his depth with all this.
Oh, yeah.
But I got to take a second to step to the side and say, they wasted Christopher Walken here. I mean, I understand that it's supposed to be the headless horseman, but his performance easily chews up everyone else's along with the scenery, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, all we get from him is this flashback scene where he's chopping up American revolutionaries like his dynasty warriors, and he doesn't even have real dialogue. He's just going, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he says a single word, yeah.
And sorry for ruining a 26-year-old movie, but he doesn't show up intact again until close to the end of the movie.
But those two scenes, though...
He's only here for 5 to 7 minutes, and he's easily the best part of the movie.
Yeah. It's I think people I shouldn't say misuse. I think people overuse the adjective electric when we talk about movies. His performance was electric. Her performance was I think Christopher Walken just showing up on the screen was fucking electric. That shit struck me immediately, like, yo.
we talk about how we're missing character actors these days, and a scene like that illustrates why. Like who would you stick in that if you were making this right now? I couldn't even think of it.
I have no idea. I have no idea who would be that. I'm trying to think of someone who would... Everyone I could think of is like too old.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. He can't do that anymore.
Too old and or possibly dead. Is Forrest Whitaker still with us?
I don't know. Now that you're asking.
I don't know. Like, I don't. I mean, maybe he can, but also I feel like he's probably too old as well.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Fine time.
This might be a good time to say how fucking great this movie looks. It looks incredible. And I know that, like, it doesn't seem like that's something notable about a Tim Burton movie because they always look good. But, like, honestly, it really does. Like, the set design is pretty simple. It's not very ostentatious like Bram Stoker's Dracula or Mary Shelley's Frankenstein or other similar movies of this era that was, like, doing this. So it's not, like, super flashy, but it's just super effective at what it's doing. It's like painting this grim, desaturated picture of 1799 New York. And I just, and it's upstate countrysides with a big spoopy mansion and a big spoopy field and a big spoopy graveyard. Like, think about the party scenes in Frankenstein. Like, that shit was expensive. It feels like those scenes cost like tens of millions of dollars, and they probably did, but they just feel a lot more modest in Sleepy Hollow, and I think it works for this kind of movie. You do get some great period costuming, though. That's for sure. Like, all the men in this movie look like they came straight off some U.S. currency.
Yeah, and they act like it, too. Hey, who said that?
Hey, where did that come from? Did the cricket say that?
Yeah, sorry, I'm still hung up on the Christopher Walken thing, but it's like, please, someone. I know everyone in town's getting murdered, but geez, like...
Maybe it was one of those things where Christopher Walken only had so much time and he just filmed a couple scenes and he didn't even talk. Like,
no, I mean, that's fine, but I mean, like, everyone else is, like I said earlier... Do you all have to get a stick lodged up your ass to live in Sleepy Hollow in 1799? I mean...
Let's face it. Ichabod Crane is the only character in this movie. He is. Johnny Depp is out here just crushing it. This is a great performance by him. And it's just... He's the only reason why this whole thing works. I'm not saying that the movie would have been total shit without him. Would have been much lesser and probably kind of boring. He is the only one... that is a character. I'm not saying like it's because everyone else sucks. I'm saying it's because nobody else is written to be a character except him, really. I guess Christina Ricci is.
I'm not sure she really is either, but we...
Yeah. Just as an aside, this Sleepy Hollow also made me realize that I kind of prefer Tim Burton when he's just kind of playing it straight. Like this, like versus something like Beetlejuice is not a movie I have ever liked that much. It's fine, but that's not something I really have ever gotten into. I much prefer something like Sleepy Hollow over, something more wild he does, like a Sweeney Todd or Edward Scissorhands, where it's all about this weird visual of this weird fucking person.
I like when Tim Burton gets weird, but I also like when it's plainer is a bad thing to say in this case, but a more grounded kind of filming is fine for him too. I sure hope he doesn't try to introduce anything stupid in here later, though. that would be embarrassing.
Yeah, God forbid he do something like that. I loved the sniping bit in the forest, like the guy's trying to snipe out something or he's keeping watch with because it had like the layer of withered trees with the perfect layer of Super Nintendo fog, like over them. So as Sniper Man gets killed and like his decapitated face and like the camera zooms in on this frozen fear face, I thought of something. Remember in like 2012 or 13, Tim Burton did Dark Shadows, a movie Dark Shadows, like based off the soap opera, also starring Johnny Depp, of course.
This is just the night where I'm forgetting about all this stuff until it's come up in the show notes on the air.
But you do remember this, right?
I do now, yes.
Okay, yeah. But that was PG-13 and kind of safe, and I get it. It's based off of like a soap opera, so probably not the time, but maybe it was the time. I think Tim Burton maybe should have done more weird R-rated stuff. Is what I'm saying.
I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, because he's dead, right? He can never make a movie again.
Yeah, he's dead to us.
Okay. Anyway, it's just something I've been thinking about.
But yeah, they end up going to the funeral, Matt Smith's funeral, and then afterward, Matt Smith Jr., I know he's given a real name, but I'm just going to call him Matt Smith Jr., swears himself to Crane's service because now he's an orphan.
That was so weird. He didn't even seem to be very upset at the proceedings. He was just like, "Oh well, I have no mom and dad. Will you be mine now?"
I guess he figured, well, I'm out of parents. I've lost a parent before. What's two?
I guess, man. This is what a kid's already living hard.
He shot down before being immediately guilted into it by one of the elders with the ominous tip of 4 graves, 5 victims, which on the surface is probably supposed to be about Matt Smith Jr., but then Crane's like doing galaxy brain to immediately, within 5 minutes, exhume the bodies of everybody that was buried so far, find the one woman, drag the body into town to the horror of everybody passing by, like not even in the casket closed, like just for everybody to see. Here's this dead lady missing her head still. Kick out the one doctor from his office to perform an autopsy with tools he made himself. I made them myself.
That's never a good sign.
And let a time lapse of some kind occur to conclude that she was pregnant when she was killed. All right.
Okay. I mean, I don't know why we like. I guess it was kind of humorous. He kind of pokes at the body and it squirts blood on him, and then he comes out 2 seconds later covered in blood. So I guess it was a funny little time lapse thing, but
I don't know.
It's just weird. It was weird. Well, okay. Then he's out riding at night, and then he thinks he sees like the headless horseman, and it chases him on horseback, and it throws a flaming jack-o'-lantern at him. And then and then he hears people laughing. It just turned out to be a prank by some assholes. Like, ah ha ha, I'm the headless horseman, bitch, or whatever. But the jack-o'-lantern like knocks him out, and then he has the first of many dream sequences, Steve. I mean, I could tell you what happens in these, but I don't really. I mean, it was just a weird lady in a white room and the flowers. She throws the flowers into the fireplace, burning, and then like, what is happening? I don't even know.
Look. The fun thing about Sleepy Hollow, I mean, the short stories that we're definitely going to miss no matter what you do in this format is the ambiguity. And right around here is where they start waving around your face, because the more popular theory is that Brom Bones is actually the horseman, and they give it to you here. They smack you with it. That's him riding the horse and throwing the jack-o'-lantern like, ah ha ha! You fucking get it? Okay, it's obviously not going to be him. But honestly, maybe instead of the Twin Peaks dream sequences about his mom, maybe that's what this thing needed. A subplot with a second horseman doing misdemeanors like decapitating livestock and setting fires with the jack-o'-lanterns around town to throw off the scent.
I half expected that to be the case, that there would be it's a real person, but then there is the real headless horseman. I think that you're right. I think that would have been a lot more interesting. Hey, you know what? You always accuse me of rewriting our crappy movies to like be better, and now you're doing it.
Oh no, it's rubbing off.
See, it's addicting, isn't it?
It is.
See? Here's what they should have.
Get it off.
It's too late. It's on you now. It's too late.
Come on, it's got to be a better idea than going into a cave and finding a witch for directions.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. You know what? I had some other stuff to say about these scenes, but I don't. You know what? Let's just get right to the witch. Fuck it. Because this scene was so laughably stupid. It was so dumb and not in a good way. Like, why did he do this? Like the CGI eyes and the snake that came out of her mouth. I get it. It's 1999. It's not going to look that great, but like, why did he do that? Like almost like a 3D movie from 2011 where they're trying to make stuff pop out the screen, but it's 1999, so we're too early for that. Like, what is happening? And then like, was it like her silly ass possessed voice and her hollowed out eyes? That was like something out of a Flash animation that's like trying to be scary. Like, was it supposed to be scary? Because this movie has not been scary up to this point. I don't know what the tone was supposed to be here, I guess, is like the worst part. It was baffling.
Yeah, very similar to Crane. I also wish we didn't visit the witch. You know, earlier I said I like when we do it Beetlejuice, but this wasn't it. Not even a little bit. Like at some point, Katrina Ricci is, you know, oh, I'm a witch, sort of. I feel like we could have divined the location of the Headless Horseman from the witch book or something. We didn't need to she do all this.
Christina Ricci gives him a witch book, literally, so that he keeps on his person. So like we could have it would have been better if like the two of them, see, now I'm going to rewrite the movie. It would have been better if the two of them would have looked in the witch book together and like figured out where the tree was or whatever, instead of like them going to the witch, because now that gets them closer. They're reading the book together, right? That develops their relationship. See?
Relationship,
quote unquote. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just feel like it's just secondary to tertiary, quadrupliary, quintupliary to literally anything else that's going on.
Maybe so, but it wouldn't have been if they had actually developed the goddamn thing like that. That would have been their chance.
I mean, they almost shoot her in the woods. Even they forget she's there.
Yeah, but before that, like she like lore dumps on him all this stuff. Oh, this is where I used to play as a kid, and my mom, blah 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 blah, and like it's just like, what are we doing?
I don't know. She's easily the weakest part of the movie, I think.
Christina Ricci?
Yeah.
I think I have to agree, because it's like, you know what? It's not just the way it's written. I thought it was that at first. I think Christina Ricci, unfortunately, is just like straight up not good in this movie. And it sucks. Like, for all the theatrics and the dramatics that this movie wants to have at times around the Headless Horseman, all the other pieces of drama just don't work, including her. There's no like real family drama, right? There's nothing really with her. And then like the way she got on the horse and turned around at the, like when they had their little tiff, right? And she's like, goodbye, Ichabod Crane. I curse the day you came to Sleepy Hollow. That was so fucking flat. There was no emotion in there at all. Maybe that was supposed to be the character, right? But like, look, Winona Ryder is not good in Dracula, right? Neither is Keanu Reeves, Jesus Christ. But Winona Ryder isn't really good either. But everything else around her is, whether it's Gary Oldman, Van Helsing, and all the set design and all the whatever, costuming. Sleepy Hollow doesn't have that luxury, Steve. So it just makes Christina Ricci, it just hangs her out to dry, I think.
I don't think it's just that. Well, it is that, but I don't think it's just that. Ryder was given more to do in Dracula. Remember when she and Sadie's Roasty Bits were frolicking around the rose bushes?
How could I forget?
Remember when
I thought they were going to kiss?
And I think they did when the screen cut away. But remember when Helena Bonham Carter was trying to figure out how brothers and sisters said goodbye to each other in Frankenstein?
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying she needed to show us the goods, but the only times Ricci shows up in Sleepy Hollow is to kind of lazily say a thing that may or may not move the plot along and then just disappear for entire blocks of the movie. She could have died off screen for all I knew in those times.
it feels like she's basically not there the first 45 minutes of the movie. And this is an hour 45, so there's a lot of movie here.
She's like this glorified sidekick, which is already what Maspeth Jr. does. In fact, I'm going to assert this right now. Kissing scenes aside, you could easily rewrite a good everything she does to have him do instead of her.
And that sucks because it's like I would love if that character were good and like really was a part of the movie, because it needs something else besides Johnny Depp needs to happen here, and nothing ever does. So I don't know, man.
But they found the tree with all the heads in it, Andre.
Oh my God. Okay, so like after they talk to the witch and they find the tree, and then Johnny Depp takes his little hatchet, his little mini axe, starts hacking at the tree, which is now bleeding because bleeding tree, I guess. And then like he's somehow deduces that the tree is a point between two worlds. How does he know that? Did he even know the concept of like quote unquote worlds before this? Did that concept exist in this century? I'm not sure. I mean, maybe it did, but how does he know that?
We are in audio format, so everyone needs to know I've been shaking my head during this entire explanation.
So is the cricket. It's just like, I thought the witch explained it to him and I just wasn't paying attention. That doesn't seem to be the case. I don't think she said anything about that.
I don't know. This is where I checked out, or, at least stopped considering the possibility that this movie might be good. Because you can't have the guy whose sole character trait is, I'm smarter than everyone, everything can be explained with science, immediately cave to the possibility of dimensional rifts when some heads are found in a tree. You just can't. At least pretend some psychopath was sticking him in there before the headless horseman fucking jumps out of there and fucking ignores your ass.
Yeah, they didn't even care. He jumped out of the tree's vagina and like just went right past them and like didn't even give him a glance. I mean, barely.
He immediately jumps to that.
It's weird. Also, his sword, the headless horseman's sword, was just sticking out of the tree like the goddamn sword of mana. It was just there.
That's where it lives.
But look. I didn't check out at this point. I kind of checked out at The Witch, honestly. Not checked out completely, like, fuck this movie. But I was also, my brain just kind of turned off. It's like, okay, whatever's going to happen from here happens from here. And what happened from there is that there was like, the headless horse, well, yeah, it runs past him, right, to go back to the town to kill more people. And it kills the whole family, man, woman, and child, just bags them up. And then, like, someone else starts fighting him off. No, Sniper Guy already bit the dust, right?
No, it was Brom Bones. It was his turn to be town guard, and he's trying to shoot him.
All right. He's trying to shoot him. Johnny Depp somehow has a gun. He tried to shoot him, and none of that's happening. And like, that's not effective. But the way they killed that guy was fucking sick. The way he took the size and just like slice him in half. That was easily the best kill of the movie. Because up to this point, it's just decapitations because that's what he does. But that was an actual like, fuck you. I just want you to die. That shit was cool.
Well, the other times he's like, they're looking for very specific heads. He just got in the way. That's them trying to make a plot point. But by this point, we don't care anymore.
We don't. I do not care. Yeah, it's funny how this movie gets progressively more and more messier as it goes along, right? It's weird.
I mean, he's using that time like, the targets are chosen on purpose, and then he has a dream sequence where we figured out what we already knew, where his mother was killed by his father for practicing witchcraft.
But hey, they got to kiss.
Oh, boy.
We got to kiss, though. Wow. We definitely care about this relationship.
Oh, wow. That's great. But now the Council of Elders are all fighting each other. And the notary's dead or dying or something.
Oh, yeah. I completely forgot about that scene where they go to the notary. Yeah, that was like some weird, very convenient bullshit. He just hey, that the kid's like, hey, that's my father's satchel. Just sitting right there. And then they look through it and they find the last will and testament of whoever. Like, all the evidence is just like right there. It would be the worst Phoenix Wright chapter in history if this were like an actual like thing. It's just like, what is this? Why is all the evidence just right here?
And it doesn't matter because that's when we got to where you were before. She just burns all the evidence like, I cursed the day you came to Sleepy Hollow, and we're not going to do this take again.
Yeah, Tim Burton is like, that's fine. Yeah, well, it's funny, right? Because like in Bram Stoker's Dracula, people have asked Francis Ford Coppola before he became Pop, who we have to take away his keys. They asked him about fucking Keanu Reeves and just why he's so bad in it. And Francis Ford Coppola was like, you know what, man? He was working a lot. I didn't have the heart to like just ask him to do a bunch of retakes or learn the accent very well or whatever. It was just, it didn't matter. Whatever it was going to be is whatever it's going to be. He was trying his best out there, and I was just like, wow, you don't typically hear a director say that, because they want their movie the way they want their movie. And Francis Ford Coppola was like, that's fine. I feel like Tim Burton, my point of bringing that up is I feel like Tim Burton isn't that kind of director. I feel like he does want things just so, which is why he keeps going back to people that he likes and trusts. So I'm surprised he let Christina Ricci get away with that.
I don't know. I feel like the problems with the script just keep mounting because there's like this scene where she's getting blood ritually humped by a lady.
That was fucking weird.
And it turns out to be her stepmother, because witches be crazy.
Well, who was the dude doing it with her?
That was her stepmom.
No, but wasn't there a part out in the wood? Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Oh, maybe.
I'm thinking of a different...
They were following a guy with a lantern. And then they found the two of them doing that? I don't know.
Remember they were doing it.
These scenes are blending together, Andre.
Right, remember they were doing it and she stabs her hand.
Yeah.
Remember that? And I was like, what the fuck are they doing?
And then like another scene or so later, like, I saw you looking at my hand and not saying anything.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I should have asked. He's trying to play it cool, but it's like, bitch, I know what you're up to. Like, I know, it's just like, come on, please. Yeah. It just gets very messy from here, basically. Like, by the time, like, the witch, or I guess her stepmother, the wicked stepmother of the West, is explaining everything to Christina Ricci, I'm like, I'm tuning out. There's no real... Because, like, honestly, there's no real mystery here after Baltus bites it. Did we even talk about that scene in the church?
Well, someone else dies. We don't even see it. They're like, oh, no, they're dead. Okay, we're going to have a funeral for him. But just before the funeral starts, the witch... we don't know she's a witch yet, but the stepmother's about to bite it. And then, oh no, the ghost can't enter the church, but that sure doesn't stop the horseman from, just impaling him on a post, dragging his ass out, and taking the head.
That was kind of badass, if I'm being real.
I mean, everyone starts panicking over a sigil, but guys, did you fucking see how your mayor was impaled by a post and dragged out for his head? Because he cannot enter the church proper.
I don't think they like him that much, so I don't think they cared, really. I mean, he wasn't a terrible person, but...
I thought that was pretty good. And, the one gem in this very, very muddy set of editing.
Well, it was cool because it shows that he's not just like a raving monster. He's like, okay, I can't enter this church. How can I kill him? And then he figured it out, right? But... Yeah. Still, there's not a whole lot of like, you're not showing the headless horseman being that cunning. It just it feels like it happens. It just kind of goes on. So I don't know. Oh, this is weird. And it's just, I think 99% of our audience will have no idea what I'm talking about, but you will. Did Johnny Depp have an air of our friend Timonos from Octopath Traveler 2? He kind of had that air to him, huh?
He felt a bit more annoying, but yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of that, like, don't fuck with me vibe, a little bit of malice underneath, he can really do something about it if he wants to, but he's playing it cool.
Yeah, this is some kind of proto-Temino shit.
Yeah, I'm. What I'm saying is the writer of Octopath Traveler 2 loved this American movie Sleepy Hollow. Okay, there's a connection here.
Somebody made a connection because they were reaching during that confession scene in the end where stepmother's revealing everything and she's just going on and on and on.
Yeah.
And he's sitting in the coach like, yeah, and he's spinning the paper bird again in the cage like, oh, I solved everything. And like, bitch, no, you didn't.
No, you fucking didn't, Johnny Depp. I think okay, you know what would have been better, and I guess this is kind of a no shit statement. I think all the flashback stuff to his mother ultimately did not need to be there. I think all that stuff could have gone. I'm not sure how much that added to the movie. And like, yeah, it does explain the canary in the cage paper trick, but did we really need to explain it all that much? He could have just said, oh, this was a memento for my mother. We didn't need to know anything else.
I mean, the part where she spilled out of the Iron Maiden was neat enough, but
that was, yeah, that was.
Maybe we could have kept that for a second, but I don't know.
Yeah, flashbacks to like certain things, right? But you don't really have to tell us everything. I wasn't really that interested.
My mother made me porridge once.
Oh man.
I don't know. I feel like they feel the need to end this eventually too, because they're like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's blow up this windmill with him in it. That doesn't work. They try shooting him some more in a chase scene, that he's getting dragged by this carriage, and they try shooting him because, the Headless Horseman is famously known for being able to be shot.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't work until I guess there's something in the plot where if we give him back his head, everything will be forgiven. Then they found his head somewhere, probably at the ritual site where the pact was made. And like, okay, here's your head back. And then Christopher Walken comes back to like, I'll save the rest of this movie here. And then I'm not going to do the bad Christopher Walken impression for too long. Sorry. And then he literally drags the lady into the tree vagina hell thing. And that's it.
That's a movie.
The three of them go back to Crane and Ricci and Junior there. They go back to New York City just before 1800. We don't see Ricci's bits. The end.
Yeah, it's and then it's over. It was cool that they blew up the windmill. That was a nice little visual, I guess, like windmill on fire and whatever. I mean, it was kind of a weird scene, but nice visual to it. That's about all I could say. Otherwise, the movie just kind of ends.
I don't know how I would have ended it, but I don't think they really knew what they were doing for a good chunk of it either.
I'll end with this since we're done with the movie now, and this will be my last thing on this movie. When we did Mary Shelley's Frankenstein a couple years ago, you mentioned the party test, which is basically, can you put this on at a Halloween party and it's good enough and it gives good spoopy vibes in Halloween, right? And I think the answer to that is absolutely yes. This is Sleepy Hollow is like the perfect Halloween party movie. You're not paying too much attention because you don't need to. And it's better if you don't. And it's like every so often you get a nice decapitation or gory kill or some weird manner of thing is happening. It's visually interesting enough and it looks great. It's not that great of a movie, but it gives good Halloween. And honestly, that's fine. Sit there, have another Milky Way, have another pumpkin-shaped Reese's cup, and just hang out with your friends and talk and see what's on the TV. I think Sleepy Hollow is fine for that.
No, you're right. It is fine for that because you can't watch this and expect a movie. You just can't.
You really can't.
But, if nothing else, look for them walking scenes. It's worth it.
For sure. Yeah, I'm sure that's on YouTube somewhere if someone didn't freak out, Paramount or whoever put this out. Is that it, Steve? You got anything else on the Sleepy Hollow?
I don't. What about you, Mr. Cricket? Mr. Cricket? Oh no, I think we killed him.
Did your dog finally munch on it?
No, I think we just bored him to death.
Well, I mean, I don't blame him. Honestly, I haven't really heard him in the last like 20 minutes or so. So maybe,
or maybe the movie did. I don't know. Whichever.
The Headless Horseman wouldn't behead a cricket. That would be terrible. All right, let's get out of here. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Check the description of this podcast to find our links on social media, and we will see you next time. Bye.